Hey, what's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so of course with the time change, me taking this walk, it's still warm outside, still bright and sunny. It's actually 4 o'clock to what we're used to, but that's a good thing because I can go get the food earlier. Well, earlier, not really, but yeah, gonna go pick up my Thai food and it feels pretty good. Took me a little nap after I finished doing the Laker video. Woke up to find out it hadn't uploaded, which is why you're barely seeing it uploaded at this moment. Basically just uploaded 5 minutes ago because we didn't have any service in my unit and I didn't have the Wi-Fi on. So luckily I woke up when I did to find out it had only uploaded but so much, and I could turn on the Wi-Fi and fix that. So yeah, that was unfortunate. So that's why it's late for those who are wondering. But looking forward to the game tonight. Looking forward to, everything that has to do with getting into a new room. Hopefully everything goes smoothly tomorrow. It was smooth on the way here. Got into a car with a nice preacher man, solid dude. So it was a good ride over. And yeah, man, just feeling better, feeling pretty good. I think the rest helped with how I was feeling, and got up this morning and laughed at the Joe Budden podcast and did my exercise, and then got out of there on time, 10 minutes early this time. So I didn't have to worry about the door locking behind me while I'm trying to get my stuff out like I did last cycle. Everything was smooth for the most part. Couldn't complain none. So yeah, man, I think just what it is that I heard was once again more disturbing stuff going on in the world. From what I understand, America and Israel targeted a disabled school for disabled children, a school for disabled young people. Blew it up. I don't know how many casualties was there. I'm not certain if this is new news or if the school that they bombed, the second school that they bombed, for which we already talked about, because we know they blew up the little girls' schools, killed 171 children there, but they also bombed another school. I think it was a boys' school. I don't know how many people were lost there. I don't know, but I saw footage of that one. And so I don't know if they've bombed a third school or if the boys' school was the disabled student school. I'm not really sure. But that was the last thing I heard. They bombed another school. I know they killed a bunch of people in Lebanon. Throughout the course of this last couple of days, they've been slaughtering people in Lebanon, trying to cleanse that area so they can add that to the map for themselves. It's just terrible, man. I was listening to Greta Thunberg. She was raising awareness for what's going on in Cuba, which is getting no press at all. But as I told you guys, that situation is rather serious. Donald Trump is basically strangling them financially, and as a result, they basically are in a dire situation. That's way beyond what it is that I think people would expect that he would allow. But when you got the Zionists behind you, they're very happy with killing everybody, no problem. So prayers for Cuba, prayers for Lebanon, prayers for Palestine, Iran, and all the places that Zionist America has its interest in. It's Israel/America. Anybody they pointed at right now is going through hell. What I want to know is, obviously this killing children thing is a real thing that they've been doing, but I don't remember hearing about this type of thing very much. It's like they started that process, that practice started up like since the start of the genocide. Anybody remember like hearing of them bombing school children and stuff like that before the genocide? That seems to be like a new, I don't know if I'm tripping, but that seems to be a new practice. That's like a new thing. I guess it just dawned on them that, we could sacrifice 1 million people to ball if we just bomb students and bomb schools, and you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what they're doing. And I don't remember hearing stories about that type of stuff. Not at all. Where people are like literally aiming for school children and aiming for kids. I don't remember seeing anything like that. They're basically making it their MO. Like, this is what they do. When you see this, it's them type stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I started paying attention to all this type of stuff since the beginning of the genocide, but I don't never remember hearing, yo, that bunch of kids was bombed by a state or a people or a group has targeted children deliberately. It's like their signature. But you know, as I said on one of my videos, or not a video, something that I was commenting on, if you allow them to, they will destroy all of us, man. This is not a situation where they are expected to just draw the line somewhere. There's no line. And that's what I want people to really, really let sink in. There is no line. There is no line. When you're dedicated to doing evil like these people are dedicated to doing evil, there's no line. There's nothing that would keep them from doing that. There's no point where they say, okay, this is too evil, this is too much, this is so far that we just ain't gonna take it. No, there's nothing. They bomb little girls, they bomb hospitals, they bomb little boys, they eat children. Like, there's no line. There's absolutely no line. And I wonder what the solution actually is, you know what I mean? Because this is more or less unprecedented when you're considering an entire movement of people religiously are moving to create disruption on the earth and traumatize all with their lack of a line and their incredible creativity for cruelty. Like, what is the solution besides something absolutely and utterly drastic? There's a lot of people that are saying the Austrian painter had it right. If you knew there were people that was doing what these people are doing, is that what you do to them? Because, like, this is making us all rethink what should be done, because more or less in our society, and I maybe mentioned this a couple times as far as my point of view, the idea is to let people enjoy life, practice their own religion. You know, if you're a liberal-minded person, you let people be. Yeah, people have differences, people are a little odd to you, maybe you're a little odd to someone else, but the idea is to get along and assimilate with others. And one of the best ways to do that is to not speak on politics, not to speak on religion. We try our very best not to use racial slurs or slurs that are going to offend. And we let people practice their religious intentions and beliefs without really challenging them. You certainly don't wage war against people for their differences and their religions. And when you're dealing with human beings across the board, essentially, you respect people and live and let live. That's what I was taught a good person is supposed to do. Now, of course, we are in a world where there's a religious faction of people that want to police others based on what they have in their books. And that's considered conservatism. And you know, they are trying to cleanse the world of certain types of what they consider evil. So they don't allow certain types of people in. They don't trust certain types of people. Whatever the case may be, it's an intention to kind of step on top of people's toes as a means of cleansing the earth itself from some of the evils that could potentially take place when you just let any and everything in. Maybe there's a balance in between the two. But what I've come to understand, that there are certain people in this world, the Zionists specifically, that if you apply all of those things to them, they then impose on you violence. They try to coerce you into circumstances that end up deteriorating your moral compass. They use whatever means they can to control you, control the earth, and do it in the shadows while claiming to be victims. And so when that is the dynamic, do the things that the live and let die cannot apply, because if you live and let die in that regard, they're going to then turn their attention to you and hurt you, or do to you and to your children what they're doing to others. So you have to revamp your idea of what it means to be a good human being in the presence of people who are intentional on being bad human beings toward other human beings. So the idea that we should just respect anybody for all their religious practices, well, from where I'm surveying, molesting children and bombing school children and harming any and all innocent children is their religious practice. So if I'm going to respect their religious practice like I was taught to respect everybody else's, then I have to effectively turn a blind eye to allow them to do things that are absolutely horrible toward children specifically. Hey, if you go respect us, the idea is anti-septicism, as of course we'll never use the real word because they're so intentional on making it so that that's not possible without being targeted. That word, it's like it's that we're abandoning our ethics when it comes to them and their practices. And the idea is that we're not allowing them to be them, specifically. And that, if pointed at any one person based on what it is that we've understood, is an injustice. But if the people you're pointed at are looking to impose harm, then of course we can't respect them the way we would respect someone who would live and let live, because they're not going to allow people to live. And so when they run around saying, oh, you hate us, and that's why you don't allow us to be us. No, we in fact understand that if we allow you to be you, you're going to destroy all of that. And in the presence of that entity in place, we got to revamp how we operate. we got to rethink the methods of what it means to be survive, what it means to survive, what a win is when it comes to being social with this type of entity in your midst. When you have a cancer in your midst, you got to adjust. I think about the analogy of what it is I've had to deal with. When I got certain issues with my stomach, I can't eat the same way. I got to adjust my diet. Now, I may have been used and conditioned to a certain diet. No restrictions allow for you to eat anything, but once you realize you have those restrictions, now you have to eat differently. Now you're forced to adjust to the new found reality of your health. And so when you use that analogy, it's the same thing. When you have the presence of a certain cancer in your society, you can't just sit back and live and let live or eat the way you've been eating, because this no longer applies. Now, when you remove that cancer from your body, then you can get back to business as usual. But toward that cancer, you need to be aggressive, or it's going to be aggressive in removing you. And so that's what it is that I've been giving a great deal of thought to. It is very simply put, and not a very complex thought at all, really. But it is something that we have to especially consider going forward. Because the idea that you can just mind your own business, live and let live, and everybody live in harmony is not possible with this cancer in place. That is not something that they will allow. And given that they're intentional on imposing themselves on all of us, we got to approach them especially differently going forward if we want to survive their presence. I heard something, just segue into a different thought. Donald Trump, it's been said that Iran has already said that they're going to eliminate him. Now, I haven't heard anyone from Iran's side saying that they're going to eliminate Donald Trump. But Donald Trump, his name is attached to this. I didn't hear him say they were going to eliminate him, or him say this either, but people are throwing it out there. Just like people are throwing out there that Iran is intentional on targeting California. Donald Trump has put himself in a position to be aligned with Zionism, thus a part of what we consider to be, in this channel, a human cancer on this earth. He did this to himself. Now, he wasn't always seen this way by the majority of people. There's a lot of people who really supported him, but for whatever reason, for whatever set of reasons, he's aligned himself with the cancer. I don't feel for him, man, because of it. If you're going to allow yourself to align with people out of guilt or out of aligned interests or out of something religious, if you're gonna have yourself aligned with people that are targeting children, that co-sign the abuse of individuals, do all the things that the Zionists are doing, do not expect for anyone who's not a part of Zionism, the cancer, to want to see you move at all going forward. Because the trauma that they're inflicting on the world in so many different pockets of the earth and so many different places where people are looking, it's gotten to a point where we're running out of, I guess the word would be patience with their presence doing these things to all of us. Let alone the behavior that comes with it, which is, I'm the victim, oh my God, there's nothing wrong with what we're doing, we want peace, even though that's not matching our actions. The words and the rhetoric, the lies and all of that is just irritating. The presence and the reality of their actions is damaging. It's damaging. It's dangerous and it's damaging. And so if that's going to be what you co-sign, if that's going to be what you're going to allow to be your reputation, yes, there's going to be people who are going to be looking to engage in violence against you. Yes, there's going to be people who are going to want to see you no longer with us. And that's what he's done. He's aligned himself with them. And some things are worse than guilt, man, as it pertains to like some of the stuff that are being said about him and all of that. And the things that maybe he's trying to hide from others, as it pertains to, you know, some of his transgressions and some of his perversions and stuff like that. There are things that are worse than that. And we got to respect that as we move about the earth. Just like they say some things are worse than death, some things are worse than certain guilt. And you align yourself with people who are going to go down historically as some of the worst human beings to ever walk the earth, or you're going to be the face of their movement to protect yourself from certain guilt. That's a different type of guilt that's going to be placed upon you in the back end. It's probably worse than what it is that you're ultimately trying to hide. So that's what I see there. I think a man is trying so hard to protect from certain reputation of probably being attached to him any dang way, only to find himself also having the attached reputation that comes from trying to align with what would otherwise protect against those realities being attached to his name. You know, as to where people see you as a perv, now they see you as a Nazi and a perv. Just, I mean, yeah, there are gonna be people who want to see you up out of here, man. So I don't know, man. I don't wish harm on nobody, but I do have to rethink what it means to be safe, what it means to be okay in a society like with this cancer in place. That's what I'm saying to you guys. You got to rethink what a win looks like in situations like this. What does a win look like as it pertains to humanity when you got some people in place who want to harm, just intentionally harm innocent people specifically? What does it look like to win? Live and let live. They won't allow it. Bdf 44, thank you all for watching.